And not only Taliban militants, but Taliban leadership in Quetta and the near border areas. So what's your assessment of this situation?
Faisal, you asked two questions in one. One is the security situation in Balochistan. The other is the presence of Taliban or not. I'll address them separately. Balochistan situation with regard to the security in the province, it cannot be called ideal. We cannot say it is good. But we should also not say that it is very bad. Why? The point is, there are 30 districts in Balochistan. Out of them, it is only 5 or 6 districts which keep appearing occasionally from point of view of security situation. They could be Dera Bukti, maybe Kolu, Khuzdar, Kalat, Quetta, and at times Noshki or Turbat. Now these are the districts where we feel or we find there is some trouble that comes up occasionally. But the incidents have reduced. Out of 30 districts, there are about 60 to 70% districts which are absolutely peaceful. The Pashtun belt is totally peaceful. And a lot of Baloch areas also peaceful. Let's say Kharan, Panjgur, Gwadar, and Jhalmaksi, Dera Murad Jamali. All these areas, Nasirabad and all, they're all absolutely peaceful. So therefore, situation is not that bad. The solution to this situation is in the political segment. There are 4 strands which will have to be taken of the strategy to address the situation of Balochistan. Now, one is the dialogue, which is already on. You know, Raza Rabari report is being talked about, and there is some consensus which is being developed, and all the stakeholders are being taken on board. It will come up in due course, and the situation will start improving. Then is the development. The government has to put in a lot of effort to provide all the daily commodities and the utilities to the people of Balochistan, as these are provided at least in other parts of Pakistan. Third one is diplomatic, in which the foreign element which is interfering in the situation of Balochistan, which are actively involved in the situation in Balochistan, they need to be addressed at the diplomatic level. The fourth one is selective application of force, which means in the meantime, when these miscreants or the terrorists or separatists or the militants, they are trying to mess up the situation in Balochistan, that needs to be kept at bay. Their radiating capability has to be limited so that the window of opportunity remains open and the government is able to move forward, because more militant activities, more ground is lost by the government, and therefore more weaker position. So at this point in time, what we are doing is to keep that window of opportunity open. Now with this only one strand of selective application of force, which is operating in Balochistan, rest of the 3 strands are taking a little time. They have political reasons for it. There are socio-political reasons for it. There are economic reasons for it. It is taking a little bit of time, but the sincerity started appearing to address the situation. Now, this only one selective application of force, which is also a positive force, which is also should not be taken as negative for the reason, what do you do with the rapist? What do you do with the dacoit? What do you do with the thug? You actually go to arrest them so that they're brought to the court. Now, when we go to get hold of them and we want to prevent them, there could be a shootout. And that is why I say that we're trying to protect the people and their property and their business and all that, to let them have the security to live their normal life as far forward as possible. Now, when this segment is done, the selective application of force also gets into the positive side of the fence. Now, with only this one segment working, you would realize that the Balochistan is working. Your roads are open, your trains are open, your flights are open, your telephones are working, your postal service is working, the business is thriving, colleges are open, schools are open. So Balochistan is functioning with only 25% of application of the national strategy. When the other 75% start taking their own share also, the situation is likely to take off in a big way. And there's a lot of light on the horizon. It is not only the silver lining. There's a lot of light on the horizon. And we have a lot of hope. As a law enforcer, I should be the one who should be yelling about the security situation because I want to operate. No, I am very confident, I am very hopeful, and I want to convey this message to everyone that Balochistan is going to improve very soon, inshallah, provided there is a sincerity to address the situation of Balochistan and the people of Balochistan are given their right. So therefore I say the situation in Balochistan, the security situation in Balochistan is not extraordinarily bad to an extent that we should start getting worried. Yes, what we should be worried about is that this window of opportunity should not close. There is foreign element. They are, eyeing on it. They know the window of opportunity is available. They would like to shut it as soon as possible. And the counterdote, the antidote for this is quick step forward by the federal government, by the provincial government to address the situation of Balochistan, which has economic angle, which has social angle, which has political angle, which has constitutional angle. They all need to be addressed. I mostly tend to agree with the demand of the normal, peace-loving and loyal people of Balochistan, and most of them are loyal. The population of Balochistan is about 7.5 to 8 million as it is declared. Now this population is not all separatist. There are only a handful of people who are trying to create fuss, and it is well within our resources, it is well within the provincial and the federal government resources to address it in a positive manner. There's no need to be offensive in this regard. There's no need to be annoyed in this regard. We need to put it right, and the situation in Balochistan is going to very soon improve. Only one statement has come about not making any further military cantonment in Balochistan. There were two of them, one in Kolu, one in Dera Bukti. Now they are not being made. It has been announced by the Chief Minister, by the Prime Minister that they will not be there. And with that, lot of cold breeze has started blowing. And therefore I say the situation is such, people are looking for some hopeful messages, and they're also looking for the sincere steps to be taken forward. Some ground steps can be straightway taken. Those are being taken perhaps, and if they are taken, the situation is likely to improve. So this is the situation of Balochistan. So we need to be hopeful. We are hopeful, and we need to communicate and understand this. The situation is not out of control at all.
You mentioned foreign element, obviously. We've been talking about foreign element. We've been talking about the involvement of India. We've been talking about the involvement of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
For any diplomatic effort to continue in this regard, we will need evidence. So, do you have any evidence, any concrete evidence which can be presented to them, or to start a diplomatic process?
Look, Faisal, lot of evidence of Indian involvement through Afghanistan is there. Supporting the separatist movement. I will not call it a Baloch movement. I will call it a separatist movement, which is not very strong. They do not have the foot soldiers. They do not have the command element. It's two young people, one sitting in England, the other sitting in Afghanistan. Bramdag is in Afghanistan, Herbiar is in England, Khairbakhsh Shumari is in Karachi. He is living in Pakistan, sitting in Karachi, and they are trying to create their foot soldiers, and they are in serious crisis with regard to leadership. Excuse me. Now, foreign element, especially the Indian element, which is there in Afghanistan, is trying its hard to create more leadership. The youth is being subverted. When the ground actions start taking place for the development and addressing the genuine cause of Balochistan, which is being exploited for wrong ends. The genuine causes are there, they are being exploited for wrong ends, so genuine causes have to be removed. The moment this starts happening, their foot soldiers will further reduce. Their command element will not develop. So there is a tussle between the two sides, the positive and the negative side. The positive side from within the country it is destined to succeed unless we commit a big blunder. I'm sure that is not going to be committed. Now, this effort is coming from Afghanistan side, the Afghanistan government is there, Indian involvement is there, and then one is also at a loss to understand with all these forces which are operating in Afghanistan, the NATO forces, the ISAF forces, with all those resources, they claim that they can even observe insect moving on ground via satellite and all those technologies. How is it possible they don't know as to what is happening in Sarawak area, what is happening south of Kandahar, what is happening opposite Sarlat area, what is happening opposite Noshki area, what is happening opposite Dalbandin area. So it is happening, it's a vast area. They may be turning their blind eye to that, which is also a tacit support. Okay, continue doing it, so that the Pakistan government and nation as a whole remains under pressure.